For all that high-tech, state-of-the-art CGI, there are some things at the heart of the destruction of Hogwarts that are distinctly old school.
Sid, tell me a little bit about what you boys are doing, because it looks like you're making rubble?
We're making rubble out of polystyrene blocks, which are fire retardant as it happens. We start off with the process of getting the sand on the bed, sifting it to make sure it doesn't have any lumps and bumps in it, and then we bring our rock bag up here and we dip it into dipping latex.
This is the latex you found in?
This is dipping latex. And this bath here takes about the biggest size you possibly can get in a block. Each side's the drain tank, and when it's ready, as it were, drained off, then we bring it back to the bench and carefully coat it with sand.
So, this looks like a great fun process, but why on earth are you doing it?
Because if on the set itself, you wouldn't be able to move a ton of rocks just like that. But this way, a guy can move fill a bag up and he, in theory, has a ton of rocks.
It took the rubble makers 3 months to make 400 tons of fake debris. Then it took 10 people 3 weeks to dress it into the set.
I love destroying things. Is there a part of you that gets very satisfied when you think, right, we're going to take something? I mean, how do you go about dismantling this? Is it, I know you don't, this is all careful, but has someone actually got a mallet or a hammer at some point and smashed some of them down?
It's not as easy.
It's not as easy as that?
Well, but because these walls are not solid walls, they're just skins. They're thin plaster skins. I mean, they're that thick.
So if you were to do that, you just put a hole in it?
Yeah, you just put a hole in it. The hammer would just go...
So this isn't... So all this rubble, this is the...
So this is lightweight and manufactured by our prop guys.
This is what we've just seen.
A little bit of the smaller
doing.
stuff is real, as you can see, because it's cheaper to get real than... But the bigger stuff is that. The Slytherin sculpture, as you can see, is in there. And but this stuff, then, is all designed on the drawing board. These profiles, these broken profiles, are designed on the drawing board. And then the carpenters come in and cut them into those very precise shapes according to the drawing. So it's not just some old hammer and some...
So have I just picked up something that needs to go back exactly where
Yes, please. Yes, the position is marked, yeah.
The Great Hall was destroyed and rebuilt 3 times during filming.
I'll never forget, my first memory of being here really was walking through that Great Hall with everyone else before seeing the sorting hat, and it's very bizarre. So now still when you see windows smashed and things like that, you think, God, who's ruining our castle, sort of thing.
Yeah, they have. They've wrecked the Great Hall. This set's been here for nearly 10 years. It's something quite satisfying. Doesn't that sound really bad?
Obviously, a destroyed Great Hall was stood in.
I know.
How are you feeling about it? I'm a little bit emotional. Emma said it was a little bit satisfying, to be honest.
Really?
I think, yeah. All the hours you've spent in here over the years.
I know. It's not the most popular set, I have to say.
Why not?
Whenever we film in here, it's so hot.
Really?
And it's always really long scenes, and it's usually filled with food that's been there for like a week.
You can't eat.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And so I can understand that a little bit, but yeah, no, it's quite sad seeing it all smashed up, because we've kind of grown up here, so...
It's odd. I mean, we just sort of just went on going, who's done this then? Who's been this careless? But, yeah, no, it's bizarre seeing it like that, but equally I wasn't that sad because about 2 weeks later it was redone.
So it's magic of film.
It's fine, really. You get over it quite quickly.
At times there were hundreds of actors battling amongst this wreckage, but filming magical combat is not like your typical war film.
It's not like a sword and sandals where they're fighting a clash of metal or plastic on plastic or wood on wood. It's when you're fighting with wands, actually, it's more like orchestrating a ballet. That's all the big sort of battle effects are put on afterwards. John Richardson, our visual effects supervisor, happily blew all kinds of things apart and set fire to them and had a great time. But the actual the what would be gunshots or sword fights or arrows hitting, whatever they are, of course, are magical spells that are added afterwards.
Behind every magical spell there's a wand, and you'd be right in thinking there's a few of those kicking about on set.
We literally made thousands of wands. I mean, obviously on Deathly Hallows, there's big battle sequences. Sure. So there's hundreds of people running around with wands, so we've had to produce, well over 2,000 wands just for the generic running around.
2,000?
Yes, yeah. And then, but also over the period of the 10 years, we've probably produced over 100 and I'd say 130 character wands, and then probably that multiplies because we produce at least 6 of each. Once we produce a wand for a character, we have to produce at least 6, and if you take like Daniel's wand, the Harry's wand, we've probably produced over 70, 80 of those at least, because he wears them out. They get worn.
He wears them out. He's worn his wand out.
He fiddles with them all the time, and the paint wears off, and so the numbers just get bigger and bigger and bigger all the time.
Of course, one of the things that's going to be important in this battle is your wand. And speaking to Pierre, who devises, creates, and makes all these extraordinary props, he was telling me, a little secret, you have gone through, worn out, Daniel Radcliffe, 80 wands over the last 10 years. Yes. What on earth have you been doing? 80? 80. 80. 80.
I thought you said 8.
No. 80. You have...
Wow.
Not 18, not 8. You have ruined... No, let's not say ruined.
Wow.
What have you been doing?
Sorry, Pierre. I don't know how I have managed to break that many wands. I know I drum with my wands a lot. So I bang them against my leg and sort of do some rhythm, you know, and that's when people say things to me like, can you drum, Dan? I said, no. He said, no, I thought not. That's the kind of time people say that to me. But yeah, so I really don't know. I just feel very bad.
You've not been sneaking them off set somehow?
I really haven't been. I'm not the person selling them on eBay, I promise.
But with all those wands in circulation, it must be pretty hard to keep tabs on them if there are any light-fingered wizards out there.
When there's so many people in a scene and everyone has wands, or like the whole scene now that we're doing today, all the crowd, they're all holding wands, and there's people like outside, like literally checking them in and out when they've come off set. It's like they're all numbered and everyone has their wand.
It's like a wand check, isn't it? It's crazy.
I know.
They watch you like hawks. Then you're not allowed to take anything away.
As I drove in today, I did see the sign saying we are doing random searches of cars.
Yeah.
I thought that's because they're coming to an end.
Yeah. No, totally. I mean, I'm serious. And you know, Dan, he's Harry Potter, and they won't let him take anything.
I've just noticed, well, there's no glass in your glasses.
Yeah. Do feel free to have a poke.
Okay,
right, yeah. That's where Rupert. Yeah, no, these are the lensless ones because of reflections. Sometimes they see the camera in them, and so they have the lensless ones. I have decided though, this is the one thing I want at the end.
The one thing?
The one thing I want is the glasses, definitely.
The ones with or without the lenses, though?
Without.
What have I swirled away over the years? I'm sure I might have taken something. I took a piece from the chessboard.
Oh, wow.
On the first film. I mean, obviously not a huge one, like a tiny little...
You were riding those
No,
pieces.
like a cracked little piece. Oh, God, do I still have it? What if I threw it away?
So will they be finding their way home to the Radcliffe
by
household?
Any means necessary? Yes, they will. It may be that... what was that thing I heard someone say once? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission, so I might just steal.
After the break, we hear what happens when Ron and Hermione finally get together.
I mean, the first take, just kind of leaning in, and then his face is getting closer and closer.
And Emma shows off her battle scars.